President Trump again skipping tonight's second GOP debate for this stop in Michigan. 7 Republican presidential hopefuls will take the stage at the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library in California. Here with us now, Republican strategist Jon Seaton. He was also the former political operative for the presidential campaigns of Lindsey Graham, John McCain, and George W. Bush. I'd like to point out John McCain in this scenario because we're about a year out from the presidential election. You've got the Iowa caucus in January, and some say this is a two-man race right now. It's Trump and Biden, and anybody else on that stage tonight is fighting for second place, a VP spot, or a spot in the cabinet. How would you respond to that, given what we saw with McCain years ago?
Well, thanks for having me on. And it is a great reminder that at this time in 2007, John McCain was very low down in the polls in single digits. He didn't have very much money. We tell the story of him carrying his own luggage to get on a Southwest Airlines flight to go up to Manchester, New Hampshire to campaign for president. And 3-4 months later, he'd won the New Hampshire primary, went on to win South Carolina, and 2 months after Iowa, he had amassed the delegates necessary to become the Republican nominee for president. So a lot can change, and John McCain's 2007-2008 campaign is kind of a testament to that.
Right. The only X factor here is Trump, right? He didn't face Trump then, and he's not facing him. These people are facing him now. So he still has such a lead, and frankly, he is ignoring these debates and showing up elsewhere at the same time. So you've got competing audiences. What message does that send to the 7 on the stage in a few hours from now?
Well, look, it puts even, if possible, more pressure on them that the former president is going to be in Michigan tonight, not on the debate stage. He's going to be kind of doing his own counter programming, and I'm sure he'll get plenty of eyeballs on him. But the folks on stage have to focus on their own campaigns, and I believe that part of their campaign is explaining to Republican primary voters why they are a better choice than Donald Trump. You cannot win a primary, certainly not this cycle, without actually drawing that contrast and explaining to voters not just why you would be a good president, but why they should move off of the man that some of them have voted for as many as 3 or 4 times in primaries and general elections and pull the lever for you. Certainly in Iowa and New Hampshire, it's going to be critically important that they be able to make that case. So the spotlight's on, and I'm very interested to see who actually makes the case directly to Republican primary voters as to why they are a better choice than Donald Trump.
Right. And Chris Christie would be the exception. He's gone after Trump time and time again. Do you expect the gloves to come off from somebody like Nikki Haley, who saw a good bump after the first debate, or a Tim Scott?
Yeah, look, I think that the stakes are high for everyone you just mentioned. Certainly, I think that there's going to be eyes to see how Nikki Haley, who had a very strong first debate, how she follows that up. And again, she got into a couple of tussles, certainly with Ms. Ramaswamy, but she has so far been fairly, she's been a little bit aggressive towards President Trump, but has not fully taken the gloves off. I think Tim Scott is another candidate who is a very strong orator, has incredibly strong policy chops as well. But will he take that case directly to voters as to why he's the best option and, frankly, a better choice to be the Republican nominee than Donald Trump? So a lot of eyes on both of those, and I think we know what we are going to get from Governor Christie, a very aggressive performance where he will take the case directly against the former president.
My final question for you, the last debate, some said was boring, right? It didn't entertain us. I mean, are we at a point as constituents that, are you not entertained, right? I mean, it's politics, it's important political policy issues that we're talking about, but there's an entertainment factor that people walk away with. Was there a moment that captured you as a voter, that changed your mind? People are hungry for that. Do the candidates pick up on it? Do they understand their role in all of this?
I think so. And I think this has been on for a long time. And people talk often about the Kennedy-Nixon debates in 1960, where if you were listening on the radio, you might have thought one thing, but seeing it on television, a more charismatic candidate got the nod in terms of who was stronger. So, the idea of having to put on a good show is certainly nothing new. And so, yeah, I think the candidates are well aware that not only do they need to have strong policy ideas and they do need to be compelling, and they do need to motivate their potential voters. And I'd also mention, having been a staffer on a few campaigns, these things can be really, really, important for staff too. They're putting in long hours and not getting paid very much money. It's always nice to see your candidate have a moment. It's energizing. It gets you fired up to get up in the morning the next day and go back to work.
Right. And are they relatable? All right, Jon, good to see you. We'll be watching tonight. Thanks. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.